Shout out to everybody in the chat. Lord have mercy, look at this hair. This hair, this hair. Shout out to everybody coming through. Sorry, I had to fix my headphones and everything. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Is it Apigal? Welcome to the membership. Apigal, we got some new members, you guys. Memberships are really happening this week. Shout out to everybody. Everybody come through. I'm pretty sure notifications didn't go out. I had to change the time for this a couple times. You guys know that Baby Bunny runs the schedule, so I have to go by her schedule. So sometimes, even though I'm scheduled for something at this time, it might change, you know. So shout out to everybody that's watching the replay game. This is really bothering me. Give me one sec, y'all. Oh Lord, hold up. I wish these headsets were so, hair friendly, but they're not. And then I got the hairspray back there and all my stuff. All right. Shout out to everybody. Let me shout out all these beautiful, wonderful members. I see Peekaboo. Who else is in the house? Nat, how you doing, love? How are you, CW? Natalie, Jess, Nana, welcome. Tinkle Tits, how you doing? Shout out to Tinkle Tits. Miss Liz, just Liz. Queen Bella, how you doing? ADAS, everybody come through. Nikita, welcome. Chico, Lexi, welcome, welcome, welcome. Christy, welcome. Everybody come through. Shopaholic. Oh, Ange, welcome. Sakina, welcome. All right, Julie, Speculation Station. Okay, for the members, I got something to tell you. I updated one of our channel emojis, and I added what did I add? Clutch the pearls. Although I couldn't spell clutch all the way in pearls, it says clutch pears, and you should have pearls on as an emoji there. Check it out. You should have them. Just say, "Hey Cassie, how you doing?" All right, everybody. Shout out to everybody coming through. Let me see, and let me get on this so we could talk, because we got a little bit of an interesting thing happening with this Alicia Navarro case. Okay, let's see. Let me go into this. Make sure you guys are throwing your pearls there. Look at those. I see the pearls. So every time we have to clutch our pearls, our invisible pearls, we got the pearl emoji in the chat. Look at all those pearls. I love it. And the emojis are 10 times bigger. I love it. I love it. Okay. Shout out to everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, let's get it together. Thank you, Headstones. All right. So the New York Post, we've been talking about this case. When we initially broke that there was an alleged arrest, we came back and we said, you know what? It's looking like we really don't know if there's an arrest. There hasn't been confirmation. Then I did a short where my beautiful, wonderful member by the name of Chicano Chronicles, shout out to her, she sent me this video. They actually did a video interview of the neighbor who alleged that there was an arrest. We have that video. Okay. Now, Glendale PD is not saying anything about an arrest. That's the confusing part. We don't have a statement. We have somebody by the name of Gina Wynn. I think that's the name of the representative from Glendale, who is saying that it was not related, no connection. But this interview says another story. Okay. And the New York Post, all right, now take it for what it is, because it's the New York Post. You already know sometimes they're reliable, sometimes they ain't or not. They're not. You know what I'm saying? They just aren't. They put out some information about 16 hours ago. And it says Alicia Navarro argued with a man, yelled, "I will go back," just one day before reappearance. Neighbor. Now, this is straight a statement from the neighbor. We have a picture of this neighbor and the girlfriend. We'll see that here in a minute. I'm going to read it to you, and then we're going to go to the other news source as well. The 18-year-old girl who went missing from Arizona in 2019 and reemerged in Montana this week allegedly fought with the man she was living with and threatened to go back just one day before she turned herself at the police station. Neighbors told the Post they heard a hold up Alicia Navarro. Okay, a hold up. This is how they put it up. They put a hold up Saturday shouting with an unidentified man inside their apartment building in Havre. Okay, and it's not Havre, it's Havre. Thank you. Y'all correct me in the chat. It's Havre, a city roughly 40 miles from the Canadian border. I was here the other day and I heard them yelling. She did say, "I will go back." but that's all I heard. Neighbors Garrett Smith, 22, told the Post. It was the day before she turned herself in. Navarro went into a local police precinct the following day to request that she had been taken off the missing persons list so that she could get a driver's license. Okay, so she requested that and could begin living a normal life, according to authorities. She had been she had been missing since police said she willfully left her home in Glendale, Arizona in 2019. It's not clear how long Navarro had been living in a Havre apartment, but Smith said she and a man in his 20s had been residents since he moved in about a year ago. Smith also said he spoke to Navarro for the first time when she claimed that she was looking for her uncle near a post office only days before she went missing to the police station. Okay, here's a little bit more of a picture that's from that video that everybody saw. She was asking for directions. She looked scared, he said, adding it was clear she didn't know her way around the area. She said she was walking with her uncle and got lost, and she's looking for 6th Street. Smith said, I later found out that she was referring to him as her uncle. This is direct quotes from these neighbors. We're going to see the picture right here, okay? Layla, welcome to the membership. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So Smith's girlfriend, Megan Alexander, 23, said they watched Navarro go into a random house and figured she had found someone who could help her. Excuse me. Navarro called Smith Mr., which the 22-year-old man found odd because he noticed she wasn't very much younger. Here's a picture. Here's a picture. I have a feeling that's not her uncle, right? Right? I don't know. That's a good question. Hey, Liz. Hey, Remy. I know. So maybe that's how she was referring to him as the uncle? I don't know. Wim and Nebulous, welcome. This is sketch, right? It's sketch. A lot of it's a sketch. Spooky Paws, welcome. So these are the young couple, okay? They were like, we're not much older than she is, and she's calling me Mister. They're like, well, I mean, she's gonna be 19 this year, so 4 or 5 year difference, 4 year, 3 year difference. Keep that in mind. He said that the teenager appeared scared, had a scratchy voice, and had noticeably insufficient dental hygiene. Now remember, this is quite the details given the fact that, when Alicia went missing, she had braces. So I don't know exactly what that means. Like he's saying, like, no, her hygiene wasn't that great because her hygiene in the photo, she had braces, right? So it might look different, something like that. Hmm. Exactly, Micah. Exactly. Right. No, and this guy, by the way, this is not the uncle. These are the neighbors. Okay. These are the neighbors that are reporting that Alicia said that she was she was walking with her uncle and got lost. And they're like, the uncle. They notice a man in his 20s and that she had been arguing with the man and basically said something to the effect of, and let me go back because I don't want to misquote, I will go back. So these two neighbors right here heard Alicia say that to a man that looked and appeared to be in his 20s. Keep that in mind. Maybe Peekaboo, maybe she took off the braces by herself, that she's very polite. She appears very polite, right? And I'm looking at another device over here. Right? Right, Kelly? Very true. Very true. SW says fact. If the braces were broken off incorrectly, the cement would be covering her teeth. That's a good point. Yes, Slayer. I hope that I made sense of that. I was reading this article so I can understand where some of that didn't make sense. So the neighbor, these are the neighbors. So Navarro called Smith. Okay, this is Garrett Smith and Megan. These are the neighbors. Navarro called Smith Mr., which the 22-year-old man found odd because he noticed she wasn't very much younger. Okay. So he notices that her voice, she had like a teenager appearance, which we look at the photos, she doesn't look like she's changed much from the time that she was 14 to where she's at right now, 18. She appeared scared, scratchy voice, and noticeably insufficient dental hygiene. Her braces looked pretty bad. Or ooh, 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 look at this. Her braces looked pretty bad. She had braces on when she went missing in Arizona in 2019. Now wait a minute. Her braces looked pretty bad. So the guy noticed this neighbor noticed the braces on her. This doesn't make sense. She doesn't see a dentist for 4 years. She would still have her braces on. I don't know. Right, Spooky Paws? You got look, we got the face like this, like I don't know. I don't know about this. See, Peekaboo? How would see? Her braces looked pretty bad. She had braces on when she went missing in Arizona in 2019. It looked like she still had the same braces on. When you look at the picture in the video, she don't even look like she has braces anymore. So how would he know? I'm confused, right? Just as like, yeah, I don't know about this. I don't know about this. Who would remove them? Maybe she removed them herself. I don't know. Maybe they fell out. The brackets, they don't come off easy. Clutching your invisible pearls. I'm saying this is suspect. I'm like, did this neighbor really know them? Or is he just wanting his little, like Megan and Garrett Smith? Did y'all really see this girl, or are you just pretending you saw this girl? Because with the details of the braces, I'm side eyeing this whole thing. New York Post is just wanting to, I'm just saying. That's what I thought too, Queen Bella. I'm side eyeing it all of it. All of it. That's true, SW. Simple player pliers will pop those off. So, did he have his braces or not? Because this is his direct quote. Her braces looked pretty bad. She had braces on when she went missing in Arizona in 2019. I'm like, have you been looking at the internet? All right. It looked like she still had the braces on, Smith said. Though the interaction, excuse me, was the first time he ever spoke to the missing girl, Smith estimates he saw her about 30 times while living at the apartment. I would see them both walking out, he said, quite often. I think I saw them holding hands once when they were leaving. Mm-mm-mm. They were very shy, closed off people. Smith had spoken to the man living with Navarro shortly after moving in last year. But the anonymous man began avoiding Smith after finding out he was from a city just 9 miles away from where Navarro vanished 3 years prior. When I first moved in, he came up to me and asked why I moved to Havre. I told him I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. And after that, he got quiet and bridged off. He wanted to end the conversation almost like I don't want to talk about Arizona, Smith said or recalled. Feds and scores of cops were at the building on Wednesday, he said. Smith believes Navarro is still living inside. A woman who lives across the street. One second, you guys, the TV's loud. A woman who lives across the street said she was questioned by authorities Thursday. At the end, they asked if I seen a girl about 18 with dark long hair, said the woman who declined to give her name. She said the authorities gave minimal descriptions of the man, but she remembered them describing him as a heavy set. Okay, look at this is Alicia with braces. All right. It is. This info sounds very sketch to me. I'm just saying. Very, very sketch. The couple described him the same way, said he was in his late 20s. Police said Friday that a man was detained. Look at this. Police said Friday that a man was detained and questioned in connection to Navarro's disappearance, though it is unclear whether it was the same individual she had shared the Havre apartment with. Navarro fled her family home just days before her 15th birthday, leaving behind a note that read, "I ran away. I'll be back. I'm sorry. I swear I'm sorry." A missing person report from years prior described Navarro as autistic but high functioning. So keep that in mind. It's the article still goes back to say Navarro is still considered a victim. Police previously said, while the family's private investigator exclusively told the Post Thursday that Navarro had only spoken briefly to her mother, but her intentions regarding whether she planned to return home were unclear. Navarro told police that she's not being held against her will and could come home and go freely, and she said she had not been hurt. Police have said she does not face criminal charges. Okay. So I don't know about Garrett and Megan over here, but I don't know how I feel about the information that they're giving. Okay. I'm just going to tell you guys. Yes, Kathy, I did read your comment earlier. Thank you for that. Definitely saw it. Thank you for saying that there's a lot of myths about missing people, human trafficking and stuff like that. And we definitely, I think as a whole, we need to become a little bit more educated to check in our that. Now, give me a second. Okay. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button. All right, I got to show you guys what my wonderful member, um, uh, uh, um, my wonderful member is it three and me? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We're gonna go through this right here. This is so weird. You know what I'm saying? Watch this. I played a little bit on a short. This is the longer version of it. Shout out to my beautiful, wonderful member, 3 and Me, for sending this to me. Um, this is just
Panel AI chooses
crazy.
T-Mobile for Business.
Hold up. We don't need to promote T-Mobile because we're not getting paid for their promotion. But this is local, all right? 3KRTV, local to, I believe, Montana. Okay? Here we go.
Well, it's a story making headlines in multiple states. This 18-year-old girl, Alicia Navarro, reported missing from Arizona in 2019, is now being reported found and safe after showing up at the Havre Police Department. Tonight, there are more questions than answers, but MTN's Owen Skornick-Hayes is at the police department with what we know.
This is interesting.
1,407 days. That's how long Alicia Navarro had been reported missing from her home in Glendale, Arizona. So you can imagine how much of a shock it was when she showed up right here at the Havre Police Station.
On Thursday, the Havre Police Department released stunning news. Alicia Navarro, who went missing when she was just 14 years old, identified herself alone to Havre law enforcement. Now 18 years of age, she asked to be removed from the missing persons database. The news has left residents of Havre in shock and awe.
Where's she been and how did she get by this whole time? I can't even imagine it, especially as a parent, you know. How do you worry that whole time they're gone, you know?
Me too.
It's insane that she was missing for 4 years, never found, especially a kid.
Jonathan Michelson is the same man that the Associated Press quoted. He was the second witness on that article that we read. All right? This is him. This is Jonathan Michelson. Let me hit play.
I'm glad she's okay.
When interacting with police, Alicia appeared in bright spirits, the same happy and healthy girl who mysteriously vanished from Glendale years ago.
Did anybody hurt you in any way?
No, no one hurt me.
Thank you very much for talking with us.
Of course. Thank you for offering help to me.
Alicia was reportedly apologetic for what she put her mother through, and the pair were virtually reunited. For MSU Northern student Jonathan, the news makes much more sense given recent events at his apartment where armed men stormed a neighbor's unit.
They went in with like ARs and body armor, like they went in really aggressively apparently. That's all I knew.
Did y'all hear that? They went in with body arms and everything. And what the statement, because we're going to go back to Miss Brianna Whitney. The statement that they gave directly was that nobody had been detained, nobody had been arrested, nothing like that. Nothing like that. Absolutely. Thank you, Sarah Jean. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Exactly. She's like, all I knew. Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you. that dude I went to college with, you know, he's a college guy, right? He's giving you his statements. He witnessed something. He was the one interviewed by the Associated Press. And then the lady local news, Brianna, went and said that these internet rumors were surfacing. Nobody had been arrested. Nobody had been detained in connection to this. But this is the statement direct from Mr. Michelson.
He eventually came up while I was talking to my neighbors. One of the guys that was supposedly undercover told me he was up here from Arizona. All he really wanted to know was how well I knew my neighbor, the interactions I had, whether or not there was a girl that had been living there. He told me late teens, like Latina or something.
Whether Alicia had been living just next door to Jonathan remains to be seen, as police will not disclose her current or former location. From this point forward, Glendale's police department are assuming the lead on the investigation. MTN News reached out to the FBI, who say they are also working closely with the Glendale PD, as they have been since 2019. The investigation into 4 years of Alicia's life is only just getting started. The ensuing months will ideally answer many questions.
Yeah, it's the first time I've ever heard of anything like this, and why she chose Havre. You know, how did she end up here? Yeah, it's a long way from home.
But for now, police say Alicia just wants to move forward with her life.
In the incident of a missing child, contact local law enforcement first and then call the National Center for Exploited and Missing Children. From Havre, I'm Owen Skornik-Hayes, MTN News.
Suspect. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Llegué tarde, perdón, soy nueva. Saludos desde Mexico. Shout out to everybody from Mexico. All the international rabbits. Shout out to you guys. Thank you. Shout out to you guys. Yes, Kathy, thank you for sharing. That is really horrible. And it's interesting because I want to say something that I have received after covering this story, because I've been covering this story. I have received countless of emails of people that want to share their trafficking story. And I would love to do something like that because I think it's great to bring awareness. But of course, I also have to be mindful of privacy issues and respect for you. So it's something that I have to figure out on, how do I go about that? Whether we, have a live where everybody shares if they have had a survivor story. But a lot of people have hit me up about that. Thank you. Yes, voices. Havre is up there in that Canadian border. I believe it's like what? I can't even remember how the mileage, but it's fairly close. Yes. So let me go back a little bit, okay? Let me go back a little bit. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. This young man right here, okay? This is what I thought was interesting because people are like, well, it's misinformation. There was no arrest. But this man also talked to the media, right, as one of the witnesses. And then we're going to go pull up that statement, okay?
It's insane that she was missing for 4 years, never found, especially a kid. I'm glad she's okay.
When interacting with police, Alicia appeared in bright spirits, the same happy and healthy girl who mysteriously vanished from Glendale years ago.
Did anybody hurt you in any way?
No one hurt me.
Thank you very much for talking with us.
Of course. Thank you for offering help to me.
Alicia was reportedly apologetic for what she put her mother through, and the pair were virtually reunited. For MSU Northern student John's apartment, where armed men stormed a neighbor's unit.
They went in with like ARs and body armor, like they went in really aggressively, apparently. That's all I knew. He eventually came up while I was talking to my neighbors. One of the guys that was supposedly undercover told me.
One of the guys talked to him that was supposedly undercover, right? Keep that in mind.
He was up here from Arizona. All he really wanted to know was how well I knew my neighbor, the interactions I had, whether or not there was a girl that had been living there. He told me late teens, like Latina or something.
Whether Alicia had been living.
Okay. This is important, okay? Because people were saying, no, where's Miss Brianna Whitney? Here it is, this post. We read this post, okay? And this is directly from Miss Brianna Whitney's Twitter, who also has been following the story. She's from Glendale, Arizona. She's been reporting it, local reporter, journalist out of there. And I think this is very important. She says, Glendale PD confirming nobody has been arrested in the hashtag Alicia Navarro case despite numerous online rumors. Okay, mama. Baby Money got a lot to say right now. They have conducted interviews with people, but at this time, nobody. Give me one sec, guys. At this time, nobody's detained and no arrests have been made. And then if you click on the post, and let me remove this tag right here. Ooh, okay, mama, one sec, guys. Sorry about that. It reads, good morning. A few outlets have reported someone was taken into custody in relation to the Alicia Navarro case. As the lead investigating agency, I want to clarify the information with you. Nobody has been arrested in connection with Alicia Navarro's case. So I guess that, there's no arrest. There's no arrest. I don't know who they took down with the guns and everything, but there's no arrest. We do not have anyone detained or in custody. However, we have conducted numerous interviews. Maybe they use the guns to try to interview somebody. You know what I'm saying? The AKs and the everything. I'm just thinking. Because that's procedure. I mean, a cop comes to my house and they want to interview me. I would hope that the AK is not out. You know? Exactly, Tessie. That the witnesses said it was, she called him his uncle. I don't know. Her uncle. We don't know his age. I know. She goes shut down this live right away. Absolutely. Absolutely, Sarah. Please do not be contacting them. I have not contacted them or anything like that. Where we're trying to go is, has there been an arrest? What is going on? And this is straight from Glendale, right? And this is still an active investigation, and we are requesting time and patience as we peel away the layers of the last 4 years. We're also requesting the media be respectful of Alicia's privacy. Do not contact these people, right? I don't know if people have been, they probably have been receiving a lot of contacts. Yeah, don't contact them. Don't do that. So they're not looking for a suspect. What's his name and description? We don't know. See, the Associated Press reported on Friday that there was an arrest. So immediately we're like, well, let's go find this mugshot. What's going on? Because you imagine, this girl was a minor when she went missing. There's a crime there, right? It's a minor when she went missing. So when the Associated Press that there was an arrest, reported that there was an arrest, we immediately wanted to see, well, where's the mugshot? Brianna Whitney, local, said that these were just online rumors. So then I'm thinking, okay, online rumors. All right. But then when my beautiful, wonderful 3andMe sent me that link and said, hey, did you see this report? Now we have a face of the person that did the interview. One of the witnesses that the Associated Press connected. There's no arrests that we know of yet. There's no mugshots. There's nothing that we know of. But there should be an arrest because this was state. We don't know how long she's been in Montana. Was she still a minor when she was in Montana? We don't know. She went missing out of Arizona. Somebody was harboring her, right? Somebody was feeding her. Somebody was clothing her. There's your crime right there. They could. Sorry, you guys. I just saw something. It distracted me over here. Right? Yeah. So she was a child at the time. So where has she been at? So this is why it's important. She's a victim. That's how I see it. Maybe she might decide to stay in Montana because she's now over the age of, she'll be 19 in September. That is her choice. But if somebody groomed this girl online to leave her house, put a note and tell them she would be back, makes you wonder how many other kids have also been groomed that way and have also ran away and have also been, done this way too, doesn't it? So there needs to be an investigation about this. Absolutely. They need to look at this. Absolutely. Right. I'm looking at these comments. She was a minor when she left and probably ran off with a grown-ass man that knows better. Maybe she took off. I doubt he stayed and waited for the cops. So I'm saying, though, who did they arrest? Because they're not saying there was an article that I read that said that it was not in connection to Alicia Navarro, but these neighbors are saying something different. The one over here, now I don't know how well I believe the one from the New York Post. I'm gonna be honest with you, because for him to suddenly say, "Well, she didn't look like she had great hygiene," but she does have great hygiene, and I mean, these individuals, I don't know if I necessarily believe what they're saying because of the details and the way in which they're giving the details. This is from the New York Post. Okay. But apparently they gave a lot of details about her being with someone she called her uncle, and they had conversations with her as well. They had no clue that she was the missing girl from the poster. That's interesting. And then who is, when this young man right here, when he did the interview, hold up and let me go back. Who was he talking about then? Because they're saying there was no arrest, but he talked to somebody, the detectives, and they pulled up with guns and whatnot. Hold up. Let's see if we could pull up right here.
That whole time they're gone, you know?
It's insane that she was missing for 4 years, never found, especially a kid. I'm glad she's okay.
When interacting with police, Alicia appeared in bright spirits, the same happy and healthy girl who
Yes.
mysteriously vanished from
Can't find it.
Glendale years ago.
Did anybody hurt you in any way?
No, no one hurt me.
Thank you very much for talking with us.
Of course. Thank you for offering help to me.
Alicia was reportedly apologetic for what she put her mother through, and the pair were virtually reunited. For MSU Northern student Jonathan, the news makes much more sense given recent events at his apartment, where armed men stormed a neighbor's unit.
Where armed men stormed the neighbor's unit were recent events in his apartment. Yeah, just Samantha, maybe it's bigger than we think, possibly, to be patient. Absolutely. So maybe the more details, maybe the police is not necessarily, they're giving us blanket statements about things. Okay. Very much blanket statements. We have 620 some people here. Can you guys please hit that like button? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Trap. Thank you, guys. The guy she is with may have gotten away from her uncle. We need more facts. Absolutely. It's suspect, yo. It's suspect. The story, the whole situation there, you know? But a crime was committed. I do feel like this is something that needs to be talked about and reported, because how many other kids have fallen for this? How many other runaways are maybe met the same situation or in different states because of this? Maybe they were groomed online. We don't know. Yes, I think it's weird that he didn't video it if that is if that is what he witnessed. Got you. No, I mean, I definitely feel like she's a victim of trafficking. Um, you know, that's that's my question too. That's my question. We don't know. We don't know. We do not know. But I think it's important to bring light to it.
They went in with like ARs and body armor, like they went in really aggressively, apparently. That's all I knew. He eventually came up while I was talking to my neighbors. One of the guys that was supposedly undercover told me he was up here from Arizona. All he really wanted to know was how well I knew my neighbor, the interactions I had, whether or not there was a girl that had been living there. He told me late teens, like Latina or something.
Whether Alicia had been living just next door to Jonathan remains to be seen, as police will not disclose her current or former location. From this point forward, Glendale's police department are assuming the lead on the investigation.
Yeah, maybe, well, we talked, Grandma, remember we said when we were covering the story, possible Stockholm, we don't know. Maybe it's not even the same guy that she initially met and she just stayed away. I don't know. Not every kid is trafficked. Maybe she ran off with another kid. We don't know the details. The problem, and the thing is we also don't know, like, why did she stay gone for that long, right? She was a runaway. She left home. but she was also reported missing. And her mom used the internet, of course, for advocacy, as she should have, right? So we really don't know what the details are. So yes, thank you. He could he sounds like he was not there, and it's secondhand to him. So who told him this was that's a good question, Jules. Do you feel like it's secondhand? Because he apparently talked to the detective. Right. The word apparently is throwing everybody off. Absolutely. Hey, Alicia. Well, I mean, he didn't have a warning, and when they stormed in, they certainly just dropped chaos. We have witnessed a troubling neighbors get raided, and I didn't record it. I mean, who's got time to who records a raiding unless you know it's going to happen, or you just happen to have your phone there? You know what I'm saying? Who does that? I wouldn't know to get my phone out if somebody, and we don't know whether it was in the middle of the night or during the day, or like say you taking a nap and then some shit like that happens. Not everything gets recorded, That's a good point. This could take years to undo, and all the mental issues for exactly, Aquarius. I don't know, Miss Liz. That's a possibility. I don't know. There's a lot of details, and I think that they're still investigating. You know, people are knowing ish about their neighbors there, right? Let me see. Ooh, that's a good question. Even if she has autism and being 18, is she still able to make decisions, or does her mom still have it right? You know, I don't. How does you? I think your question is, how does her autism play a role in her ability to make decisions? Is that something that is concerning? I hear what you're saying in that question, and I think that that's something that they're going to have to determine. Keep in mind, many child trafficking victims will address people in formal terms, sir or ma'am, as a sign of submission and maintaining that childlike facade as they get older. How did she address, if you believe everything that the neighbor is saying? This guy right here, Mr. Garrett Smith. Now I say Mr. Yeah, I'm a lot older than Garrett Smith, okay, but I'm saying Mr. Garrett Smith and Megan, right? She said he's like, I found it odd that she called me Mr. because I'm not that, like, we're about the same age, you know? Um, right, right. Unclone is a troll, block them. Oh Lord, am I getting trolled? Am I getting trolled? Thank you. Thank you. Shout out to the mods. Shout out to everybody. I expected to get trolled. Shout out to the trolls. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button, trolls. A parent would have to make a motion in court. Wouldn't that take years though, Ava? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Right, right. Um, you never record, like, I don't know how you would even record any of that. Her mother would have to have guardianship to have control over her. That's right, Anita. That's right. I worked in mental health and at times had a client turn 18 and parents had to say no to them. Yes. I've seen that happen before, you know. It depends on their mental health and their ability to make decisions and whatnot. A doctor would have to say that the person with autism cannot make decisions on their own. Yes, Aquarius. And you would have to document that for years. She's been gone. So we don't know guardianship. We don't know what any of that looks like. She came to the police station and said, I need you guys to take me out of the missing person list because I want to get my life back together. I am this person and I'm missing, but I want a driver's license. It's interesting, it truly is. It gives me a lot of hope for other kids that are missing, you know? Like, you never know. If she's severely autistic, then her mom may have petitioned her to be a continued legal guardian. However, that process is yes. And in Cali, the thing is like it's been years. I mean, she's already 18. She's gonna petition the court again. Like she'll be 19 in September. Not petition them again, but petition them after so many years. Just seems odd, You had conservatorship over your daughter when she turned 18. She's special needs. See, Tassie, did she? I think when she ran away, she didn't even take any of that, because those are the documentations you would need for a driver's license, right? What would make her? Let me tell you this. What would, out of all places she could have gone to, she went to a police station to say, I am the missing girl, right? I want to have a driver's license. Why a police station? She knew where to go, right? Would the MVD driver's place have flagged her and then reported her as she walked her in there? Hit the like. Thank you for the $5. SW. She knew what to say. She didn't go like to the driver's license place, the Department of Motor Vehicles, right? And say, hey, I'm this person. Can you take me out? It's interesting that she walked to a police station. I almost feel like she might have already thought about this before, like just to have contact again with the family. I got you. Drivers, please. MVD, DMV. I call it the DMV. MVD sounds weird. DMV sounds a little bit more natural. Many people with autism are capable of making decisions for themselves. If she's high functioning, guardianship, like, exactly. Thank you, beautiful Messi. Thank you for saying that. Because, I mean, it's likely that they wouldn't even apply here. That's a good question. Maybe they're still waiting because they're investigating. That could be the issue. But if she was, the story broke Tuesday, because that's when we talked about it, right? By Friday, which was the day before yesterday, we were already reading the article about her not having been reunited yet with her mom. Maybe it's by choice right now, because she's not wanting to leave Montana. That's not what we're hearing. Maybe it's by choice, or maybe mom already flew to Montana for all we know. That's a good point. If she was drugged, her brain is stunted. You say, I think the photo being a national news during the Carly Russell triggered the wanting off. You think so? You think she was watching all that? You would have gone to law enforcement? I just didn't even think of, like, she went to law enforcement. She didn't go to the DMV or anything like that. She said, I want to get, because she knew exactly where she was going. That's why I'm like, we don't know what her functioning is. She's capable of making decisions based on what's being reported. Now, does that take away from her being a victim? No. I think she's a victim. You know what I'm saying? Like, we should still consider her a victim based on what happened to her, based on the fact that she was a child when she went missing. And we don't know what happened between 2019 to present time. We don't. So we definitely need to view her as a victim. There was the FBI agent who was reviewing her body language. Keep that in mind. We talked about that. Okay? That FBI agent said, it's not what she's like. What did he say? Hold up. Let's go back over here. Let's go. It was Miss Whitney's report right here.
Navarro's mom and Daniel Robinson's dad were doing live streams together on social media to bring awareness to their missing children's cases. And when the years go by with no answers, it can feel like.
Oh, and shout out to, this is that, oh my gosh, what's it called? The Daniel Robinson case. You guys, we've never done coverage on it. We did share, what's it called? The when they're searching the scheduling, we have shared that before. Where is that video? Is it this one? I think it's this one right here. Hold up.
Fascinating interview. He has so much to say. He has so much experience dealing with child victims. And I asked him, is there a chance a crime was not committed here and Alicia Navarro was living on her own after running away for 4 years?
Exactly,
he
Samantha.
said, yes, that is possible, but not probable. He suspects there is much more at play here based on everything we know.
And this is why she is a victim. In my opinion, she was harbored. Somebody kept her, somebody fed her while she was missing. Okay? Yes, she's a victim.
So far.
Did anybody hurt you in any way?
No one hurt me.
Short video clips of now 18-year-old Alicia Navarro at the center of this mystery.
what happened to her for the last 4 years.
She's a minor at the time she disappeared. So if somebody was taking advantage of her, she's not in a position to give consent.
Jim Eggleston is a former FBI agent who spent years working with victims, especially child victims of human trafficking. While we don't know what exactly happened to Alicia back in 2019 or where she went, we do know she left a note for her mom saying she was sorry for running away. At the time, her mother said she had autism. Nobody heard from Alicia again until she walked into a police department in Havre, Montana this week by herself, a small town nearly 1,400 miles away.
I think one of the keys to unraveling what happened to her and holding whoever may have been with her responsible is the investigators are going to have to spend time and develop trust and rapport with her over a series of contacts and interviews.
I asked Eggleston if anything seemed out of the ordinary about Alicia in these clips.
No, our goal is we just want to make sure that you're safe.
I don't I understand that.
He says it's less about her demeanor and more about the words she was saying.
So regardless of whether or not she's been diagnosed with autism, what strikes me is what I saw in many of the victims that I helped recover when I was working those cases. And that is, they often don't recognize that they are a victim. It used to be referred to as Stockholm Syndrome. Now it's called trauma bonding.
Thank you very much for talking with us.
Of course. Thank you for offering help to me.
Eggleston says while it's a miracle Alicia is alive and safe, he believes the investigation will reveal that a crime was committed and that Alicia may have experienced trauma no child should have to go through.
I don't see how this is likely without some other person being involved. And if another person was involved, you have to question their motives, of course.
Yep. I mean, I love that they had somebody with the FBI review that. And people, listen, people are stuck on the braces. Keep in mind, we just reviewed it earlier. If you're just joining in, hey, just a tea, please. Keep in mind that there was a witness who said that she looked like her hygiene was not very well kept. So I don't know if that was from the New York Post. A neighbor came out and said something about her dental hygiene. Okay. So again, that leaves up a lot of speculation and a lot of questions as far as that goes. Okay. So for those that are stuck on the braces, you got to read that New York Post article, which we just read earlier a couple of minutes ago. As a great, she seems to have perhaps felt like suffocating, needed to be escaped. Just a thought. Potentially somebody harbored her, though. It's still a crime. Did they follow her back to the apartment? That's a good question. I'm not really sure. I believe they probably still have contact with her. You know what I'm saying? She's blocking it out. What happened to her? I would think so too, right? Like, we don't know what trauma she's been through.
Even though Alicia is now 18 years old and an adult, Eggleston says charges can still be filed in this case depending on what investigators uncover. Alicia's family's private investigator told us today her mom is very happy and overwhelmed with everything, and that she and Alicia have been able to speak over video chat, but there's still a lot to piece together here, guys.
I know they mentioned autism, and if that's not involved here, I can't imagine as a parent watching this interaction. Because it makes you wonder what happened.
It's concerning.
Yeah, you have so many questions.
For sure.
So I got to ask you, is there any idea from that FBI agent what could be the most difficult part of this investigation?
So I think right now the question is, how long was she in that small Montana town? We don't know if she had been living there for some time. And if she was living there for some time, it'd be easier to piece together things. You can track down people to interview. You can piece together her life a little bit. But he brought up the fact of, what if that was a drop-off location? If she was with a truck driver or somebody who was running different routes and she was dropped off there, that's a lot harder to track down.
Because if at 14 years old, when she initially disappeared, how was she supporting herself? How was she working? Who was feeding her? Right?
Yeah, that is what he was saying, is likely somebody else was involved, because she went to that police station not looking homeless. I mean, she was dressed, she could talk, things like that. So somebody,
she didn't look in distress.
Right. Somebody has been with her, and you have to think, who has that person been, and is there a multitude of people that she's seen in these 4 years.
And if she has anything to say, it sounds like it's going to take some time for that to come out.
Yeah, he said it takes a long time for those investigators to make a rapport relationship with children, especially children victims.
Yeah.
Wow. And I just, I'm happy she's been found. It's just amazing. This is amazing news, right? I'm really happy to hear that. But there's a lot of questions. And again, for those that have not seen the statement, we read the statement in a different live about that. Let me see what Remy said. Great. Somebody said, great point. Those with autism can lack skills to interpret social cues as well. What is grooming to us may be here's a friend to someone with autism. Remy, I love your comment because that is such a fantastic point. Hey, I'm a seahorse. Welcome, welcome. My 14-year-old is autistic, and this woman is very high functioning in order to know how to go to the police and want it off the missing person registration list. That's what I'm saying. It's a very specific thing to ask. Hey, Alicia, welcome to the membership, love. Thank you for being a member. I hope we break this. We are on number 66666 of viewers right now. Somebody needs to come or go because that's just weird. That's weird. Yes. Do you think so, Aaron? That's interesting you say that. I'm glad she's been found safe. So I wanted to bring, again, shout out to 3andMe who gave me that video. It's a local article. For those that have not seen it, you have to watch it because we were reporting that there was an arrest. The Associated Press, again, took from this interview. Where did it go? Did I close it out? It wasn't this one. It was this one. Took from this interview from the neighbor. Okay. So keep that in mind as we're reviewing the story. We don't know if there has been an arrest or not. It's still unclear, but apparently witnesses have actually seen an arrest. They saw, and there have been witnesses out there that have reported the same. I'm not really sure. That's interesting. It says, are there any reports of abuse in the girl's home prior to her disappearance? Who is her father? I don't know about the father. I did talk to Miss Jessica Nunez when I interviewed her on my channel 2 years ago. And I don't remember us even talking about that specific thing. I don't know. But when we ask these questions, one of the questions I want to ask you is how does it serve how does that question serve whether a crime was, if the crime was committed at her home, it'd be different, but we don't really know. You know what I'm saying? Was there grooming? Was there, all of that? Shout out to everybody. Let me see. And for those, again, this is the video. Check it out.
Police, Alicia appeared in bright spirits, the same happy and healthy girl who mysteriously vanished from Glendale years ago.
Thank you,
Did
Tazzy.
anybody hurt you in any way?
No, no one hurt me.
Thank you very much for talking with us.
Of course. Thank you for offering help to me.
Alicia was reportedly apologetic for what she put her mother through, and the pair were virtually reunited. For MSU Northern student Jonathan, the news makes much more sense given recent events at his apartment where armed men stormed a neighbor's unit.
They went in with like ARs and body armor, like they went in really aggressively apparently. That's all I knew.
So whether that was related, unrelated, I guess that's the question that kind of want to answer to, because apparently the witness said that that's what he saw, and then he talked to one of the investigators, which was an Arizona police officer, and that they were asking him questions in connection to the neighbor that was there, which is Alicia and whoever was living with her at that time. All right, guys, I'm having to head out. Let me know your thoughts in the comments about this story and the developments of it. I really do hope that we get a little bit more information as this is developing. And I guess we'll go from here. You guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you're watching the replay, please hit the like button. And thank you, everybody, for stopping by. I'll see you guys in the next one. We'll be live later on tonight. You don't want to miss that. I'll see you guys. Rabbits out.